Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Ready Set podcast.
My name's Angus.
I'm Ricky.
I'm Derek.
And today we've got our very special guest with us again. Her name is Yolanda.
Hello.
Thank you for joining.
All right. So we are going to talk about the stuff that we did outside of school. So it could be,
Extracurricular activities?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether or not your parents forced you to do it, or
you wanted to do
or
it.
you wanted to, or they
Coerced
voluntold you
Voluntold.
they voluntold you to do.
But did kids really have a choice back then?
That's the real
That's
question.
the real question, yeah.
So, what extracurricular activities as a kid did you guys get signed
man,
up
I
for?
did
Yeah.
so many.
You did a lot.
I
Let's
did
start with
like
Angus.
did basketball, did
Oh.
soccer,
Yeah.
did summer school, if that counts.
That doesn't count.
That's alright.
I did I think I did Kumon for a little bit,
Oh wow.
and then I did like
Oh, you did kung
Physical
fu
and
stuff
academic.
too, or
yeah,
martial arts?
Okay,
yeah.
martial
I did
arts.
martial arts stuff, and I did it because I got bullied.
Oh,
So was that out of your own accord?
Yeah, or did your parents were like, he's getting bullied in school, let's just
No,
teach him
the bullied
self-defense.
one, I think I was like kind of on board too, right? Because when you get bullied, you
Right.
want to do
You
something
wanna-
about it. Because
yeah.
if I'm like crying every day, going back home, and I feel like
Right.
sad, then
You want to change something. about
yeah,
it,
I wanted to like change, like do something about it. But
Oh.
like the stuff that I was kind of forced into is like sports.
yeah.
I did a lot of art
Oh, wow.
classes
Holy
at a
cow.
very young
You got
age.
signed up for a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my parents actually, they told me now, like, they said the reason I put you into all these stuff is because we wanted you to experiment and see what you like the most.
Ah.
So I was very fortunate they were able to do that,
Mm.
but
So
I
that's
also,
just expensive.
it is very expensive. I also did dancing too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was
So
not.
no,
tried
I didn't know that.
everything.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not good dancing. man.
Like dancing as in like they just made you do like square dancing, or is it
No,
Ballroom
it
dancing?
was like, man, it was such a young age, but they make you do all these different styles of dance. So it's like,
Is
it's
it like ballroom dancing or is it more contemporary like?
is it contemporary?
Like, okay,
a little,
like
but
hip-hop
I was
or
like what?
something?
I was like 7.
Oh, okay.
Like
You did
6.
ballet when you were 7.
It was like a
Oh.
mix of that. It's a little
Oh,
bit.
okay.
I just
Modern.
remember they had a move called
Yeah.
meatball, and you had your arms out like this, and you just waddle like a penguin.
Oh,
And that was a
so,
dance
so
move.
like you're talking about stuff for like little
For
kids,
kids.
and toddlers. Oh, okay.
Not toddlers. Damn.
Oh, no, I was thinking like you waddle like a penguin.
As a
I
child.
said
As
I
a
was like,
child.
I said I was around like 6 or 7,
Oh,
maybe
okay, okay.
8.
That's still quite young.
Toddlers.
That's still
Damn.
quite young.
Maybe 8, maybe 22,
Yeah.
who is to
Yeah.
say?
Waddling like a
Maybe it was
penguin is still-
yesterday.
okay.
all we just need to do is imagine Angus in a tutu.
But yeah, I did all that stuff, and I was pretty
Wow.
happy. But the only thing is that my parents never was there ever because they were like busy working, right?
Right.
So I think that was like one of the biggest things I kind of missed out because you see every kid's parents are there,
Oh,
and then later my parents were never there, and it's kind of like it ruins that feel like
the
know.
magical moment.
Yeah, the
Right.
magical moment. Yeah.
Like the support from your parents is.
Or like
Yeah.
you're putting in all this effort to perform
It's like-
for them.
it feels like they kicked you. Not I won't
It
say
was a
kicked you
daycare
out of
for
the.
you.
It feels like they put you in a boot camp,
Mm.
like because you don't see your parents, right?
Right.
And then like of course when you're young, you just want to be with your parents,
Yeah.
but it's like they just put you in that and they leave, and you're like. That's like a dog, right? Like, oh my god, where's my mom? I'd be like, and then the whole time I'll be like quite upset, right?
Yeah.
So it's not. If I was to think back, I'm like, did I like it? It was good to learn all these things, but
Yeah.
I missed a lot of like. I just wish they were there. Sort of thing.
Like spending time.
Did you ever do like swimming lessons too? Then
I
Oh.
did.
Ah, okay. I never did that.
Oh wow.
Never did it.
I got an
Oh.
interesting story about that, but let's go in a circle. I'm not gonna share all the secrets here.
I never did swimming lessons. Let's see, extracurricular. Never did Kumon or anything. My parents were pretty poor, so like lack of opportunities. But like me and my brothers, none of us did that stuff, and we understood at a younger age. So it's like it's fine. But then there was one time where I was struggling with math. And instead of putting me through like summer school or whatever, they put me in this other extracurricular activity. It was to learn how to use an abacus.
Wow.
So like
using your mind to like calculate.
yeah,
everything.
well yeah, well, there was like an actual like little
Wow.
calculator for like an abacus, and it was
Did
Yeah.
that
Wow.
help? Did that help?
it helped.
So
work.
Yeah.
But
Explain to people who don't know what
Oh,
abacus
okay,
is.
an abacus is like basically a old Chinese style of a manual calculator.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's with lots of different
Beads.
and sticks inside those beads, so that you kind of scroll up and down on, and you use that to calculate.
It's like the toys that you see at a kid's room or even toddler's room where you just slide the thing like a little pebble up the string and you're kind of doing it. It's
But you
like
have
that.
like
Yeah.
rows and rows of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where, just walk into a Chinese medicine store and you'll see them using it.
They don't even use those.
They don't use
anymore.
it anymore?
Well, they use calculators
Yeah, they use
now.
calculators.
No,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
like a few weeks ago I went to pick up some stuff for my dad, and it was like, oh, it's just a fucking
It's-
calculator.
Oh.
It's a
Just
giant
like she pulled out her phone to use a calculator app. It wasn't even a calculator.
You're lucky to have learned it. It's a giant talent that
Yeah,
you
true.
know now.
So-
I still don't know how to use it till now, so it's like a
Wow.
life skill, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Could you one day just go to a store and they'll be like, how much it is? You just whip it out.
It looks like you're always like,
Wow.
what are you doing? I'm calculating, so give me a second.
Dude, I put that on my dating app.
Can use an abacus.
No.
That's a great skill.
Yeah, that's a good
Good with
starting
beads and
topic.
freaking.
Just say, imagine like something's going on, there's a fire breaks out, and you're trying to calculate the chances. You whip it out, and you're
Oh
like,
my God.
calculation percentage of how living it
Statistics.
is, 5%.
He might be burnt like
Yeah.
half dead already. You know?
That's like the most Asian thing ever.
That's
That's true.
But it worked.
That was the
though.
only thing that I ever went for extra whatever.
So was that like a class at a community center, or was it like...
No, it was like a little classroom inside a.
person space.
Well, it was sort of like not a community center, but it's something like that.
It's like a
Oh,
Chinese school thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was also in Chinese school.
Oh, me
nice.
too.
I failed.
Chinese
I failed
school.
my first year and I stopped.
Oh
Failed
no.
your first. How
Yeah,
did
I didn't know you
your
could
first
fail.
year? I didn't know either.
Yeah, apparently like 3 or 4 of us failed though. So
Oh shoot.
Like you just had no interest in it, and I guess
Yeah,
that's why, right?
yeah.
It's hard though, Chinese.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
we were learning traditional too.
Oh.
This was grade 2,
Yeah.
where we were learning grade 1 Chinese after
Oh,
school.
wow.
You- it's the hardest part where when you finish school and it's the weekend, you're like, great, I can watch cartoons and relax. And then your parents are like,
Chinese
nope, you're
homework.
going Chinese
Chinese
school.
school.
And you're
See?
like, oh
That-
my gosh, we're
that's-
learning.
That's the one thing I didn't like about it because it makes you feel like you're still going back to school.
Oh,
That's
oh,
the feel-
Like
yours
you're
was on a
forced
weekend?
to, kinda.
Yeah, mine was on
Yeah,
the
mine was on
weekend.
Saturday.
Mine was after school.
Ooh.
Oh.
Isn't
So
that
you had a
worse?
longer school day, essentially.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 times a
No,
week.
no
for
wonder
like,
you failed.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
that's a lot for a day
I don't know.
for a kid.
That's
But
a
that's
lot
like
of
grade
work.
2.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Damn. All right. What about you guys?
What did you...
I did a lot too. So, badminton,
Oh,
okay.
swimming, I went to the tutoring, but I didn't go to Kumon.
wait, you played badminton in elementary school?
It was like a separate lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like your
wasn't.
parents signed you up separately.
Wow,
Yeah.
but you're
Oh,
like
wow.
in that age range.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were playing it for a bit, and then like I learned for a couple of grades, and then I kind of stopped. But it's like one of those life things that you learn, and it's like to this day I'm still okay with it. It might be really rusty, but I'm like okay with
Muscle
it.
memory kind of
Yeah,
thing.
because you do it all over. It's just drills, right? They're just
Right.
making you do
It's
drills.
just like me
all
with
over
abacus.
again.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
What's 5 times 5?
So turn on Netflix. And
Okay.
Yeah, I did swimming, and that was probably like the furthest thing I took. And of course, my parents being super Asian forced me to learn piano too.
Oh,
wow.
wow. Yeah.
So we still have the piano at my parents' place,
Oh.
and I have forgotten everything I've learned.
No
from
way.
I
piano
actually had
now.
no idea you learned piano.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I went
time.
up to grade 6.
Oh, okay.
And one of the key reasons I never liked piano, it's not that because my parents forced me to do it. I thought maybe learning an instrument was fine, but it was the fact that a lot of the lessons that were entailed with learning the piano we're all classical music. And I
Right.
hate
Oh.
classical music.
Yeah, that's I
Because
think
you can't relate to it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And like imagine if you get to pick what you want to play. It'll
Yeah.
make it more interesting.
Yeah,
right?
you
Yeah.
learn like Ariana Grande on the piano.
Yeah.
New
Like
song-
Dr. Dre or
songs
something.
to hear on the
Yeah.
radio,
Yeah.
your friends like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eminem.
Yeah, something like that you can relate to, right? And then you're like, no, you have to play Bach. You're like, oh, God, I hate Bach. You're like, oh, what the heck,
You
man?
guys will probably play like Nobu Uematsu or like anime game.
Oh,
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always when I play piano, it's like I just like to play video game music.
Yeah,
Right.
fair.
Did
Yeah.
you guys ever like print out your own music or find your own sheets
I
and
did.
try?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My piano teacher was actually really good in the fact that because even though she was forced to teach me classic, she always taught me an extra song on the side, which was a song that I would request.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then so she had like the Asian canto songs, like you know the Tonghua, right? The Fairlight
Oh
song.
my
So
God.
she had the musical sheets for that.
Oh wow.
You should have the muscle memory to play that.
I don't know if I can remember. It's been so long now.
Maybe if you start pressing some keys and start listening. you might
Yeah.
Start coming back.
And then she had like a bunch of Disney ones too.
Oh.
The Disney
Disney
ones
songs are
were
lovely.
easier to find. And
She
then-
was
so
she was setting you up for a date.
Oh.
Yeah, Disney music, like Chinese, like love songs.
Start
What is
serenading.
Yeah.
going on? Starting
Yeah.
you young.
Yeah, but unfortunately, all the tests were like you have to
yeah.
learn classical and you can
Tests
only
are
play
hard,
classical.
Mm.
So you
And
have
they're like,
practice so much.
show passion on playing these things. I'm like, how am I supposed to show passion for like a song I hate or
That's
like I
true.
don't like
When
to
you don't
play?
even enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, you're supposed to like, do all this like, make sure like you press these at certain like intervals and like make sure it's like loud and clear. And I'll be like, dude, I really don't like this. Yeah, but there was I think my furthest one would definitely be like swimming,
Right.
and then there was also the other most extracurricular activity I did was dragon boat, and there was also a community center martial arts too.
Mm.
So dragon boat I joined of my own accord. That was high school, and like some of the best memories I've ever had.
Wow.
And
Could you share us some of these? What makes it so special though?
I think it's just you get such a huge adrenaline rush when you're doing the races.
During the races,
Yeah, and then once you finish the races, it's just like, oh
Your
my
tank
gosh.
is empty, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you share the same drive with your
Yeah, the
teammates, right?
camaraderie
Yeah.
is huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to let each other down. It's like such
Yeah,
a.
that's why you're like, oh, I gotta try my hardest to like paddle this boat all the way to the finish line. But it was, I think the funniest stories I ever had were definitely like community center, like karate / martial arts though. Like, I don't know about you when you joined martial arts, was it like you just had one master and then like, was it like his own dedicated school or did you do the community school?
No, I
ones
never
too?
did community school because I was
So much
very
financial.
I was very picky.
Yeah.
Depending on who I learned. Of course, when you're young, you don't pick.
Yeah.
But my parents went to a bunch of different places
Oh,
to
wow.
check out, and I was with them, and we found a pretty good master for karate. And then after that, we transitioned to like wushu and all that stuff. And I was like very picky. Like I had the mindset of like I want to be the
The
best.
best.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
went to like
Martial artist.
I went to a community center. I checked it out, one of them, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this place is terrible. Like, what is going on? Like, there's just
Wow.
there's no structure. Everyone's doing their own thing. Even the instructors aren't good. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not. Why would I have to pay money for something that's this bad?
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's mine's always the school.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why I thought it was so bad about them. There was especially for the karate ones, I was like going around and I'm like, dude, this is essentially an extra PE block.
Oh.
Because it's making the kids just run around and do stuff, right? Like, of course, they teach you like the most basic stances and all that stuff, but they're like, oh, run like 10 hoops around the gym floor. And then they're like, oh, do like 20 push-ups. You're like, dude, I thought I came here to learn like martial arts.
Yeah,
not-
that's part of building your stamina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Well, they
Yeah.
made me run too.
Yeah.
But like If that's all you do
It's
for
it's
half
just
an
like
hour.
in those Chinese movies where you're fucking mixing rice.
Yeah.
It doesn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Repetitive,
You
yeah.
do that for like 4 hours, but
Yeah.
it turns out it's like some secret fucking technique.
Yeah.
I guess it's for discipline. Maybe.
Discipline,
Or
your
maybe-
inner
yeah.
discipline.
Or running away fast.
Oh yeah.
When you try to get caught, and you're
Yeah.
like,
You see us creep
damn.
down the street, now you could like just bolt
yeah,
away.
it's like, how does Derek run so fast? It's a skill.
That's
That's
great.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the funniest one was there was a community center where we did wushu before, and like I did it on and off, but it was so funny because I remember the master there was like specifically very old school, and he was trying to get everybody to do the splits, right?
Oh my.
And then some of the students who were like almost there to the floor, he would be like, he'd be like while they're doing it, he'd like push down on the shoulders, and you'd be like,
yeah.
screaming like crazy on there.
Because your basically balls are gonna rip.
Yeah. So he's like, the sooner you get it done with, the easier it is, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to like stay in that position so that
Get
you
more
can stretch as
flexible.
well.
Yeah, but that's not how you're supposed to stretch.
No.
Nope.
You slowly.
Yeah,
get
you
to that
slowly
point.
ease
yeah.
your way into it.
Yeah, because you can hurt yourself.
Yeah. But like that was really funny. But yeah, other than that, I would say dragon boat and swimming were probably my top priority. Like swimming, I went as far as I got my lifeguard license, and then I stopped over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Yo?
I guess pretty similar like things. Like I did piano, and then I also did kumon growing up.
Did you-
Decent.
Did you like Kumon?
At first, I didn't like it because all these things were signed up by my mom. There's like, it's like, oh, these things you need to take extracurricular, like excel at certain things. Like it's like the typical things I feel like parents would want you to do. So at first, I did enjoy it, but like later on, as I for Kumon, like when I like did more and more lessons, I realized like, oh, this is helping me excel. Like I'm doing better in school.
You've noticed,
I'm getting
yeah.
better grades. I could show off in front of my
Even though you're
school
dreading
friends.
like each second
Yeah.
of doing Kumon.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But then like I just started growing like, oh, I want to like excel at it. So I started doing more and more, and then to a point where it's like instead of like taking lessons to like catch up, I was
Yeah.
like getting ahead.
You realize that at such a young age?
Well, this was like from probably closer to like grade 6, 7 going to high school. So like when I was younger, like I started like around 4 or 5. And then it's like I'm just taking it just so I could get better practice in like math or English. Because like I grew up in a family that mostly spoke like Canto,
Yeah.
so I was pretty bad with my English.
Yeah.
So like helped me excel in school, and then later on, like it just like made me more motivated in school.
Whoa.
Oh wow. Well, like I don't think I've. Did you? Were
Heard
you guys
it?
in ESL?
I was.
I was in ESL.
They put me in there for 1 week and then they pulled me out because it was a mistake.
It's like,
That's 'cause that's what
I
we
think
hear.
it was
Yeah.
like a semi-subtle
He doesn't even-
racism where they're just like, oh, this
I
guy's
think
probably
that's
needs
the
to
thing.
get
Yeah.
Everyone
It's
is like in there with broken English, and you're like, why is this kid here?
Why is my mind
And
is-
Ricky speaking fluent English. They're
Yeah,
like, hey,
it's
what's
like I
going
don't know
on
what
here?
they're talking about, and they're all
Yeah.
speaking Chinese.
Everything is so easy.
Yeah.
It really was like that.
Great.
Yeah. Oh,
So
shit.
you were in ESL,
I was in ESL. For
but did
like-
you need it?
Yeah.
I think I did.
Oh, shit.
I needed it too.
I was in there
Oh my
for a
God.
pretty long time.
No way.
Yeah, I was like always in those special classes where it's like pulled
Interesting.
into like a smaller class. But maybe it's just because I did so bad in school.
Or it's an accelerated program.
Maybe just with
Yeah.
like 2 other people who
You're
was
so
always
good, they
the
gotta pull you out of class.
yeah. I was always in like the special class where they like give me pictures and be like, "What is this?"
Wait,
Like they would make me do special like
Yeah.
it's not like common things. They just like, "Oh, what do you think this is?" Like, you want to tell me about like the story, or they like read like short stories and like, "You want to tell me what I just said?"
is it because like you weren't good at the language, or is it just because you're too shy to speak it?
Oh, yeah.
No, I think I was just really bad at school because
Oh.
I had no interest in school.
Oh,
When I was a
okay.
kid, it's like I don't enjoy it unless I have interest.
Mm.
And if I have 0 interest, I'm gonna do bad at school because I just nothing will go
Right.
into my head.
Interest
right?
is like
Yeah,
key.
so for me, it's like interest is huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back then, my parents didn't know. That's why they put me into like those like
Right.
special learning school is trying to figure out like
What you
how
like.
I can learn, what's my strength, and my strength is like more visual and hands-on. Like if you just read a textbook, I'm gonna forget. Like I've read textbooks like sentence over and over again. I don't even know I'm doing that until like a couple minutes later. I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, okay, next paragraph. So yeah, I'm one of those kids. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. Learned a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so when did they pull you two out of ESL then? Was it just like after you finished elementary school then? Or
I
is
was
it-
I was in it through like
Oh wow.
the whole time.
I think
Really?
I did it for 2 years. I think grade 2.
Okay.
I think I was in
So
ESL.
you
I
got
was-
pulled out grade
yeah.
4 or 5.
No. Like I started in grade 1. So
Oh,
grade 1,
okay.
2, and then I think after that I was pretty much okay because they realized like
You're good.
I was able to like speak fluently.
Yeah.
I think mostly like writing was okay. It's just like at home I didn't speak English much.
Right.
So then they're like trying
That's like
to get me
most
to
of
speak more.
us, I think. Like
Wow.
with immigrant parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I was in ESL. I just knew I was in a special class. I always pull me out and do something else.
You're just special.
Throughout elementary, yeah. Throughout elementary, I always had like a special class.
Wow.
I would get
Interesting.
pulled out. I thought it was. I knew it was ESL in the beginning, but I didn't know what it was until later on. even
You
my
see the
aunt-
students walking into the classroom and then I guess right behind them it's like teacher's like, nope, not you. You're the people in
Stay
here.
behind.
I was so bad in French. I didn't have to take
Oh.
French.
You could do
What?
that?
I was so bad.
How
the
did you
teacher
skip
would.
that?
wanna
No, I
do that.
didn't. It was in elementary, like grade 6 or
Yeah.
something, and the teacher
It's,
was
it's
like,
part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
though.
I know, but I was so bad in like you don't understand how bad in French I was. So bad to the point teacher was like, you can go sit in the back and I read a book or I go
wow.
to sleep.
Whoa.
I was that bad.
Crazy.
I was
Giving
that
up.
bad.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, because
So-
I'm pretty sure I was already like failing like no tomorrow. She's just like, it's no point of you trying.
You're just distracting the other kids. You're
Yeah.
pulling them back. it's like she looks at the grades of and she's seating chart like you're at a 0. Like everyone in your vicinity is like a lower
Yeah.
grade. It's
That's
like,
usually makes me sit in the back.
gotta pull you away.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, those are some stuff I did outside of school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was there anything you guys wished you would have like either retained or like sort of if you could take it again as like an
Oh.
adult and learn it just as fast as when you were a kid, like would you guys do it?
Chinese school. I realized how valuable
That's true.
Yeah.
like Chinese is.
Same.
Like it's like especially Mandarin.
It's so hard picking up as an adult.
Yes, it's
Tis.
so hard.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I should have stuck with it, but I quit because the teacher hit me. Yeah, she hit
Like
me.
on your hand kind of
No, she hit me on the head with the ruler.
Okay.
Like
That's fair.
Like it wasn't good, and she said I was distracting, and I
Yeah.
basically told my parents, and my parents had to go and talk to her, and I was there too.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And in my head, I was like standing there, and my parents was like, I don't know if they were yelling, but
Yeah.
he basically like told the teacher like you can't do that to my kid, and I was standing there in my head. I'm like, why am I here? I'm just gonna get in trouble. Like the next time she sees me, next time she freaking beat me even harder.
Oh,
She was like, it wasn't good, and then I think after that, my grandma. It's like every Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So I like skipped it. I said like I'm not going, and they would like call my grandma, be like, hey, why is he come to Chinese school? And then I'm like, I'm not going. She hit me. It's child abuse. But back then I didn't know what child abuse
No,
was, so
yeah,
I'm just
right.
like, I'm not going. She hit me. And then they couldn't force me because I like legit. I'm just like, I'm not going.
Then your grandma would hit you harder and you get to choose.
I actually prefer that.
family hitting's different.
Yeah, because it's like, why would another lady hit me? In my head, I'm like, you're not my family. Like, my family can hit me. So yeah, it's for me. It's like, why would I have to go to school and get hit? It's like two whammies, two things I don't like.
Actually, I in my teens, I also went to Chinese school, but this was on my own decision for a brief
Oh.
moment. It was because I was volunteering at this place, and then I met this girl, and I was trying to date her. And she was like signing up for this Chinese school in Chinatown, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll sign up too. And then I begged my parents to like send me to there,
Oh, wow.
and I took the course with her, like the classes, and I learned a lot.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, I think that was my motivation.
But the motivation was different.
Yeah.
But
Oh, where did you guys learn your Chinese school stuff though? Like, was it at a church? Was it at
Mount
like
Church.
Oh,
at like community center or whatnot?
Never took Chinese school.
Really?
No.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot, man, your Chinese
I
is pretty good.
would-
yeah, it is.
I think like at home, like my mom was planning on teaching me herself, but then like with schoolwork piling up and all that, it just never happened. So that
Yeah.
Get busy.
yeah,
Yeah.
get busy. Yeah.
It's hard too because like when your parents know everything, like they're trying to teach you at their own
Right.
pace, but they're like, oh, I don't
It's
know
different,
why is it so hard here?
yeah, it's different.
Like
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
the thing, but you know,
Yeah.
it's always good to retain. But yeah, I think language would probably be one of the most efficient ones to retain. I do wish I kind of kept up with my lifeguard license a
Oh.
bit again, but swimming is definitely one of those things that you never
It's a
really
life skill.
forget.
Yeah.
It's a life skill.
Like
Yeah.
you hop it back into the swimming pool, I think I probably remember a lot of
Yeah.
it already.
Yeah.
You got lifeguard like.
You're a lifeguard.
certification,
Well,
so
you
you're
better
safe.
know how.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
any of us like drown, we're relying on you.
Oh, gosh.
If I see you like as a lifeguard and you go near the water, and you're like, ooh, maybe not. I'd be like, this guy should not be a lifeguard. But yeah, that's should end it there.
Yes.
That's some great topics here we talked about. But you can let us know what you do after school. Did you take some classes or did you stay home and play games? Because that's what I always wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
Every kid wants to. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can catch us on YouTube, Spotify. We're on all those social media, TikTok. Let us know.
You can check out our earlier episodes on Spotify or Apple Music.
Yeah, it'll be all in the link tree link right now. So if you want podcast, YouTube, or anything, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe for our next podcast coming
All
out.
right. Thank you.
And we'll
Thank
see you
you.
on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.